So then the other classification is tool support for static testing. So some tools for supporting static testing are review process support tools, static analysis tools, and modeling tools. So these are some tools which are classified which support the static testing. So let's go ahead one by one. Review process support tool. What are the features of review process support tool? So a common reference for the review process, then storing and sorting review comments. So review process support tools are the tools which are mostly built in into some other tools. Like even if you have your test management tools, this process is kind of built in into test management tools. Then there are other configuration management tools which have review process built in. For example, IBM's Rational Team Concert has a built-in review process support in it. So this process is and then you can have different independent tools which just support review process as well. But most of the time you will find that this is built into some sort of tool, either test management or configuration management tool. So review process support tool is basically a common reference for the review process. So whenever you start the review process for your any document or code, this tool provides common reference to the review process. Then it provides functionality to store and sort the review comments. Whichever review comments are being provided for the code or the document is being captured by the review process support tool. Then it has functionality to communicate comments to relevant people, and it has functionality to coordinate online reviews. So anybody can provide the reviews on the document that is floated for the review, and then those review comments can be viewed by anybody online. Then you can track review comments, any defect found, and providing reports about them. So the tracking of review comments is also possible in review process support tool, and provides traceability between comments and documents reviewed and related documents. So there is a traceability functionality that you can trace the review comments against which document those review comments are being made. Then you can monitor the review status, whether the review of that document or code has passed, or it requires changes, or it is all right and to finish the review process. Then it provides reporting functionality on the key factors. So these are some of the common features provided by review process support tool. Then when it is used most, it is used during requirements gathering, high level design, low level design, test design phase, or project planning phase. So these are the phases when you have most of the documents being reviewed. So whenever you are doing requirements gathering, those need to be reviewed by different stakeholders. So these are the phases wherein review process support tools are used most. Or when you have designed your high level design or low level design for the software, then you have come up with your test strategy or test cases or test plans. So all these documents need to be reviewed, which require review process to get everything reviewed and finalized. Then these are used most by developers, testers, business analysts, and managers. So these are different people who use review process support tools. Then there are static analysis tools, which are mostly used by developers. So these tools are used by developers. So the developer code is input data for static analysis tool. So what static analysis tool does is it takes developers code, which is kind of input data for static analysis tool. So developer's code is static, is input data, and which is analyzed by static analysis tool. Then static analysis tools are extension of compiler technology. Then static analysis tools help developers to understand the structure of code. So these tools help developers to understand how the code has been structured. Then they also help to enforce the coding standard and best practices in the market. So these tools also enforce coding standards. So the best coding standard needs to be followed, or whatever coding standard has been finalized by the organization needs to be followed. So these tools help to enforce those coding standards and best practices. Then what are the features of static analysis tools? Static analysis tools enforce coding standards. Then they analyze code structure and dependencies. So these tools also analyze what the structure of the code is and what are the dependencies in the code, if there are any missing dependencies which need to be included in the code. So for example, if you would have a chance to look at Eclipse integrated development environment, which is very popular Java enterprise development tool. So Eclipse provides, or it enforces the coding standard. You can do that in Eclipse. You can see the code structure, you can figure out if there is any dependency, missing dependency. You can see the tool tells you that this dependency is missing. And then it also helps you to identify defects in code. It helps you to debug your code. So then identification of defects, or helping to understand the code. So all these features are being provided by static analysis tools. Then the last and most important feature that's provided by static analysis tool is calculate the matrix. So for example, cyclomatic matrix, cyclomatic complexity, or nesting levels of the code, which help you to decide what is the complexity of the code that is being written. Or if the code is very complex, then it will help you to redesign the code and see if the complexity is reduced, because the more complex the code is, the more testing is required for that code. So these are some of the features provided by static analysis tools. Then these are used mostly during unit or component testing. So these are the phases when developer is kind of developing the code and doing some component testing. At that point of time, these tools are used most. Then these are used mostly by developers. So these are developer tools. Then there are modeling tools. So modeling tools help to validate models of the system or software. So whether the model of the software or the system is right or not. So modeling tool help to validate that model. Then modeling tools capture and translate complex system designs into easily understood representations of data flows and process. So what's the purpose of modeling tool? They help you to model the complex design, system design, into picture format, kind of into data flows and processes, which is very easy to understand. Because if you have just 1,000 lines of code, you cannot understand how it becomes very difficult to understand which module is communicating with what module, and what the exact flow is happening in the software. So these modeling tools help you to translate all that flow into a process, and which can be viewed on the screen and can be easily understood how the data flow or the process is happening for that software. Then modeling tools create a blueprint for construction and or re-engineering. So it creates a sort of blueprint which you can view and understand how things are. Or if you want to re-engineer something, then you can have a look and do some changes there. Then modeling tools are typically used by developers. So these tools are used by developers. You do not need to worry about. For ISTQB Foundation Level course, you just need to know what are modeling tools and what are the functionality. You do not need to know much detail about the modeling tools because these tools are used by developers. Then what are the features of modeling tools? Modeling tools identify any inconsistencies or defects in the model. That's a very basic feature provided by modeling tool. If there is any inconsistency in or any defect in the software model, then it will identify that. Then it helps to predict system response and behavior under different conditions like load and stress. So modeling tools also help to predict system response or system behavior under different conditions. You can model different load and stress in the tool and see how the software will perform, what the response or behavior of the software will be. Then modeling tools help to understand the system functions and identify test conditions using modeling language like UML. So most of the tools use UML language for modeling. So it helps you to understand system functions and identify the test conditions that can be there in the system. Then modeling tools also aid in generating test cases based on the model. So since you have modeled all the software, you have the model in front of you, so you can see the model and see what test, how the flow of the software is, and then you can figure out the test cases based on that model. So that will help you to design better test cases for the complete process or the model. Then when are these tools used most? These are used most during unit or component testing or unit integration testing. So once developer are doing the coding, they use modeling tools most. Then these are used mostly by developers. So some of the modeling tools which are popular, open source and popular in the market are BOUML or AgroUML or DIA. So these are some of the tools. So I'll provide you a link which has complete set of tools which you can go ahead and have a look and how the tool looks like. But it's not required to get into more details as per ISTQB syllabus is concerned into these tools, because these tools are more of used by developers. So this is the UI that modeling tool will generate. So it's a DIA modeling tool UI. So this is how the model will kind of look like. And so just to give you an example of how the modeling tool looks like, the UI looks like.